I'm just curious though, are you going to be also dealing with complaints from the past?
From complaints from the past?
Yes, I mean, if I'd had a previous experience with a police officer and I think I want to report that police officer, and it didn't just happen.
Of course, you can do. Crime don't expire. Okay. Crimes or misdeeds don't expire as long as the person allegation is being made against is still alive.
So how do we know? I mean, or how does the complainant know when action has been taken on his or her complaint?
You know, one other interesting part in this is every complaint will be issued a tracking number. So once you make a complaint, we're going to acknowledge the complaint, and part of the acknowledgement is giving you a tracking number, that your complaint, the tracking number for your complaint is so. The tracking number is randomly generated by the system. So it's not as if we're going to be using hand to create tracking number. And every step, there are certain actions that are needed to be taken. And we have timelines, the maximum, which is 7 days. So some complaints, depending on the nature of the complaints, you're going to get them resolved immediately. And some, it might take 1 or 2 days. But one important thing is you can be assured that you're going to get a tracking number through which, when we need to give you feedback, okay, we know that the tracking number is for the complaint by, for instance, from Sulai, and we know, okay, this is the means of passing the complaints to the unit, and we use the same medium to give you a feedback. And another reason why we're giving tracking number is if you feel the time for us to get back to you has passed, then you on your own, you can call back and say, hey, I made so complaints, this is a tracking number, you know? So that makes issue of accountability easier.
Okay. Mr. Shogunle, commendable idea, commendable venture. But, you know, you said 138 million Nigerians are going to have access to the 7 platforms. I hope you're ready for the deluge of complaints that are going to be coming in. Because on the Twitter handle right now, several are coming in. In fact, one person actually said that you personally, I'm sorry to bring this up, say you do not respond to your tweets and all of this. So what's the guarantee that your unit would respond to the complaints that are going to come in? Because they are quite a number. I'll give you an idea. I'm on the same road. I meet a policeman who's very courteous. Well, thank you so much and all of that. May I see your papers? You see, I always tell that story because I've not had any other experience after that. And he says, and the moment he finishes with you, you're about to move, you tell the other policeman, excuse me, do you mind moving? And he turns to you and says, my friend, you want to tell me my job? Now, that some might say that's nothing to complain about. But the behavior, the attitude of the man on the road who's standing under the sun and who's gone through a whole day of stress attempting to protect might not be the same with that man who's coming in from the air-conditioned office. Would you be ready to handle all these complaints on all the 7 platforms and respond in 7 days?
The response in 7 days.
Sorry, as you answer that, I want our producers to quickly put the, so that people can get to know the numbers to call. If we can just have them on the screen as you respond to the office.
Yeah, okay. The issue of 7 days I'm talking about is that it's not going to take more than 7 days. And we are quite aware that it's a difficult task to satisfy people. No matter how much you try to do, there will still be 1 or 2 persons that will still say certain things based on certain reasons they have. And we'll continue to try our best to ensure that adequate response, immediate response are given. And that's why we're running shifts. And that's why we have different persons manning different platforms. For instance, the person picking the first phone number for call is different from the person picking the second phone number. The person picking the phone numbers is different from the person deployed to look to receive on text messages, different from, as in each of the platforms, they have different persons handling them. And of course, we also have people that have been commending the police on prompt response. And issue of the tweet you mentioned about. For instance, as you are here, if somebody sends you a tweet, there is no way you can respond.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying one now.
Sorry. Looking at all this, there's also something you have there that, depicting a graphic image, talking about bail is free, showing some other police officers how they can attend to you when they meet you on the road. Is bail really free? And do people retrieve, or recovered stolen items recovered by the police free of charge from the police? Or do they have to pay before they can retrieve them? For instance, recovered stolen vehicles and any other appliance? Or?
There is no doubt in the past we've had issues of individual police officers taking advantage of their offices, abuse of power, abuse of office, no doubt about that. And the same thing, we've had police officers that have performed excellently. But what is the police leadership under IGP Solomon Arase saying at this time is that certain things that we have discovered that is causing friction between the force and members of the public are not supported. The police leadership is not in support of it. Certain things are not institutionalized. Okay, for instance, from our findings, we've discovered that some of the things that are causing frictions between members of the public and the police is, for instance, the issue of bail. We are aware, the police authorities are aware, and that's why we're going to have each of these posters in every police station. It's a must.
How can that help? Because they've always had that big sign, bail is free, and looking at the sign, it's not free then.
But even if something had happened, who would you have complained to at that time? Nobody.
So these numbers
so
can
now
help.
These numbers, the difference now is this number. The difference there now is these numbers and this medium through which you can complain. For instance, you are driving home, or you are coming to work, or you are going home from work, and you have an encounter with policeman on the road, and probably you are not satisfied. Then you know that this is one way. In fact, I've read messages on the social media, people actually photocopying.
Very quickly, how do you help also the policeman who is good and very professional? Because I'm thinking, what if a bad guy picks any of these numbers and he doesn't like the fact that some police officers are somewhere around that could also put a check to his nefarious activity, and he sends a message to say, well, I don't like policemen being on this route because they do this and this. How do you verify to see if these people were actually culpable or not?
The job of the CRU is going to be done in the most professional manner. So it's not just enough laying a complaint. There are three things that we're going to look out for. We'll receive complaints, we verify, and then we resolve or respond. So verification of complaints is very important. Yes, everybody has the right to make any form of complaint or allegation. Part of the process, the first thing is to verify if the complaint is right. And we have officers on the field who will do this almost immediately the complaint comes in.
Well, we do hope, we'll keep bringing those numbers and email as well as other platforms to the people so that they can respond and subsequently follow up on that. We'd like to thank you so very much. CSP Yomi Shogunle, you're the officer in charge of Complaint Response Unit. We have a distress call from people around Festac. The call just coming in saying that they can hear sporadic gunshots in Festac town, and our producers very quickly, we've been able to get to the Commissioner of Police in Lagos State, CP Fatai Owusheni. Good morning and thanks for joining us. Are you aware of what exactly is happening around Festac? quickly go to the newsroom and we'll come back to that because we need some form of clarification on that particular one. Breaking story and distress call from people around Festec calling to say they can hear sporadic gunfire around Festec town here in Lagos, southwest of Nigeria. And we'll try to get to the Commissioner of Police, CP Fatai Osheni, to give us an update on that, if his men are already on ground or what exactly is happening around Festec. That's maybe after the news we'll come back to him.